Angela Sutherland, your Healthy Living Chick health coach, and today I'm going to be sharing about all the feels and talking about our emotional health. So this is our disclaimer. I am not a licensed medical professional. Angela is a health coach, mom, and wife. Any of the information shared in this presentation, text, graphics, images, and other material is based on my research and personal experience. I write this information to inform and encourage people with their health. However, none of this information should serve as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult your physician before launching any new healthcare regimen. And I'd like to thank Mary Carlisle for her vast knowledge of essential oils in regards to emotional health. And I consulted with Mary for several weeks in preparation for this class. Thank you, Mary, for your wisdom in this endeavor. Okay, this is my family. Again, I'm Angela and my husband Brian. And then I have 4 girls, Ariel, Amelia, Caitlin, and Kaylee across the picture. And you can reach me and see more information about healthy living tips at healthylivingchick.com. So why study emotional health? In my experience with one of my own health crises in 2005, I couldn't heal from my digestive issues until I changed my belief system. I was eating all the right foods and exercising, drinking water, doing all the right things, but I was still sick. And someone in my life once told me, Angela, your healing is not going to come until you change your belief system, until you change your mindset. So this kind of brought on this whole idea of emotional health and how to serve people in this way. What we believe is highly connected to our physical well-being. I discovered emotions do correlate with our physical healing. I had believed that I wasn't going to get better, and I was going to have surgery. And then I got to thinking, would I be messed up for the rest of my life? Because what I was struggling with was digestive related, and I thought, oh my gosh, are they going to mess up? I had to change my belief system. I had to renew my mind and envision my own miracle. I knew that God could perform miracles. I needed to believe it for me. I was anxious and worried. I had to tell myself another story. Remember, everything starts with a thought. Are you growing good, positive things in your life, or are you growing sickness and disease? Okay, here is our wellness triangle. And we need to nourish ourselves not only in our spirit, body, and mind. When all 3 of these are nourished and balanced, then we experience health, because you are created to function as a whole. So the body, spirit, and mind were designed to be equally healthy. If one of the sides of the triangle was too long or too short, it would collapse, right? Our goal, even if we don't always do it perfectly, is to nourish all 3 parts. When that happens, we achieve wellness. Have you ever talked to someone and they say, oh, physically I'm great, but emotionally I'm struggling? Well, honestly, that can't be, because we are struggling emotionally, then that usually turns into some type of physical symptom. Remember, we serve a triune God, and we are triune beings. God makes no mistakes. We want to listen to our body, and we need to try and balance our physical, emotional, and spiritual health. And here are a couple of cells. Now remember, emotions are connected at the cellular level. So a lot of times when we think about our cells and those trillions of cells in our bodies, any traumas or anything that we have experienced can get into our cells, and then I believe that's how things like cancer and things like this are grown. And it all starts with a thought. So this is based upon the research with Dr. Caroline Leaf who's a neuroscientist. I will refer to her throughout this talk because I have learned so much with her. And then another person that I've learned a lot is with Alex Lloyd. He's also done some research talking about how our emotions are held in our cells. And it does matter what we think. Anyway, he has a book called Healing Codes that is awesome as well. But he kind of talks about a story about helping his wife go through some things. She's very depressed, very sad, and he believes that he was given the specific information in his book to help his wife, and she ended up changing her name to Hope because she was suicidal and depressed, and then she changed just her outlook on life through a series of I guess, healing through some stuff that he was given, and it's kind of good. It's a great book, but it's basically all about changing your mindset, changing your thoughts, going back and healing at the cellular level, healing some past hurts, some past wounds, figuring out what those are. So both of those are excellent resources that kind of go through some things that might have happened to you earlier in life, and etc. But we hold a lot of our emotions in the cells. So your body is made up of intelligent cells designed to continually restore health. Emotions are information-carrying molecules that bind to and react with cell receptors. Have you ever gotten mad and gotten a headache? Okay, have you ever been upset and had to go to the bathroom? So you can think of many different examples of things that have happened like this. So it's actually something we have happen that it's emotional, like we've gotten mad, and then we have a physical ailment. So maybe even think about whenever we get really stressed, maybe our stomach hurts. So our emotions are definitely connected to our physical health. Some clients come to me in pain. When we talk, their pain is actually from an emotional response, like we just mentioned. One client kept talking over and over about his mom. I knew that the pain he was experiencing was associated with his emotional well-being, something going on with his mom at this point. And then, who is the pain in your neck, or the pain in your shoulder, or the pain in your stomach, or who triggers you emotionally? And then, are we growing cancers if we haven't dealt with the trauma in 5, 10, 15, 20 years? So in my research, originally 20 years ago, I started researching cancer and the effects because my mother-in-law got cancer. And so I wanted to kind of, study that. And it really begins with the mindset. I'm not going to go into a lot of details here, but in her thought process from really the moment I met her was, her thoughts were, everybody in my family has died of cancer. I'm going to die young of cancer. And that's what she believed. So she died young of cancer. But some of our cancers, it doesn't happen overnight. We don't wake up one day with it. We wake up with a symptom of it. However, that cancer has been in our bodies for 5, 10, 15, 20 years and has grown. So I don't believe that we wake up one day with it. I believe it's something that has occurred, but we don't have any outside symptoms of that until later. Now, emotions that we have not faced, accepted, nor dealt with are stored as repressed emotions. They are waiting for future time when we can deal with them. Repressed emotions are unfinished business. They are lessons unlearned. They can cause pain, illness, disease. Now remember, dis-ease is basically dis-ease of the body. When we can balance the body out, through the ways that we mentioned earlier, that if we can balance our bodies out, that's when we achieve wellness. But back to this, they can cause pain, illness, disease, and malfunctions on any and all levels. That's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. This is why essential oils are so valuable in releasing emotional patterns that trouble us. affecting our health and our behavior in ways that we do not seem to be able to control. When we have those anxious feelings, maybe those thoughts, phobias, sadness, and etc. Let's take the time to support our emotions. I want to back up here for a minute. I want to go back. Whoops. What happened? Okay. I'm going to go back to the beginning because we all experience emotions every day. God gave us these emotions for a reason. And if you see here, we have, joy and anger and sadness. The little girl on the ground that's, so blue. And fear. And then the green one looks like my teenager, right? So we have these every day. They are not bad, but they are signs that, hey, we need to look into our emotional health, and we need to figure out what is going on inside there. So emotions are not bad. I think they are signals, and they help us to know, hey, we need to address something that's going on. So our body works holistically together. So here we have our 3 brains, okay? So yes, you have one brain, but let's talk about these 3 areas. Science reveals there are complex neural processing functions that occur in the mind, in the heart, and the gut. And the girl on the right shows when we are connected, then we experience wellness. We want to connect these 3 brains in order to feel good, okay? So in our mind, we have our logic and intellect. And in our subconscious mind directs over 90% of our behavior. When we think of our subconscious mind, I think of that, it's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So when you put that into perspective, the subconscious mind directs over 90% of our behavior. Okay, the subconscious mind is the underneath this iceberg, right? And the top of it is the behavior at the top. So this is showing 90% of our subconscious is always working. So this means when we have those bad dreams, we have those nightmares, we have night terrors, we have maybe sleepwalking, maybe we scream in the middle of the night. Any of those things is based upon what is going on in our subconscious mind, okay? So our heart, that intuition, a lot of people say women have that intuition. All of us have intuition of some type. Women might be more keen to it because they're listening more for it. But our heart has that intuition. There are more neural pathways that run from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. Think about that for a minute. And then we have that gut feeling. 90% of the body's serotonin and our other feel-good chemicals are produced in the gut. Okay, there are, I like this quote here, that feelings are really chemicals that can help us or hurt us. What are we growing? Are we growing those weeds, those negative thoughts, negative, anxious, worried feelings? Or are we growing those beautiful, positive, green plants? Are we growing the weeds or the seeds? I like this verse from Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart. Everything you do flows from it. Okay, let's move on here. Now we have let's talk about specifics like, our stress responses. Now, stress is not all bad. There are good stress. We have to have some type of stress in order to get up in the morning and get going, right? Some kind of stress that we need to get up and we have things to do. So those types of things, that type of stress is good. When it turns bad is when it feels overwhelming. So let's talk about life experience here. So here we have a lady that is overwhelmed. The phone's ringing, the baby's crying, the dog is barking, all at the same time. So when she processes that, her brain says, I have to figure this out. But her heart says, boy, I feel overwhelmed. And her gut says, I'm stuck. Okay? And this leads to our reaction. Sometimes people hold their tension in their shoulders, or maybe they get a headache, like head tension. and their heart is maybe conflicted, and their stomach is now unsettled. So this is our reaction when we have a stress that's overwhelming, and then we process it as overwhelmed, and then we have that reaction. That's a physical thing like stomach, head tension, shoulders, upper back hurting. That's a disconnection. And then we have a choice here, what we're going to believe. Are we going to grow that weed? Are we going to stop, realize it, and change it, right? So in this particular instance, her belief system is, I'm not good enough. I didn't handle that situation well. Okay, so there's the weed there. What do I need to weed out in my mind? What do I need to weed out? So according to Dr. Leaf, she's a neuroscientist that I mentioned earlier, she says, don't eat while you are stressed. When you're in this mode here, because the choice that you're going to make is going to be sugar or processed food like chips or something like that that's going to turn into sugar, okay? So what this does is this increases cortisol when we eat, when we are stressed, and increases our belly fat, and it raises our hormones, and we develop insulin resistance, and then we develop things like type 2 diabetes, PCOS, and you put in the blank, you fill in that blank of what it looks like, according to, what we just talked about. There's many different diseases that pop up because of this process. So what we can do is we can fast when we're having these types of feelings, because she says that fasting is good for us. We become more intelligent the more you fast. And when we do eat, when we are calm, we want to eat real food. And we want to do that slowly. We want to do that mindfully. So what I would like you to do, I'd like you to think. You are sick, right? Let's just say you have something going on. You fill in the blank, whatever it may be. And draw a picture of what you would do if you were completely well. So after this, draw a picture of what you would do if you were completely well. How would you spend your days? Okay? I talk to a lot of different clients, and they come to me with X diagnosis. And I think, have them draw a picture of what they would do if they were completely well, and how they would spend their days. Because the thing of it is, when we are well, then we have many, many, many dreams, right? When we are sick, our focus is on getting well. So that's why I'm so passionate about health and what we think and what we put into our bodies. All of it works together. Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So we want to take those thoughts, those weeds, captive, and we want to renew our mind and put in. So when we take something out of our diet, we want to put something good back in. So for instance, when a good doctor says, I want you to remove all, coffee from your diet. Well, a good doctor would be like, I don't want you to take it out. I want you to replace it with tea. So we're crowding it out at this point, right? So when we take out a bad thought or a lie that we have believed or anything like this, we want to put in a good thought. We want to renew the mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Okay? Moving on. Now let's talk about how our essential oils can support healthy emotions. All right, essential oils support healthy cell function. They can anchor healthy biochemistry, and they can promote physical and emotional detoxification. And I love to use citrus oils when I talk about physically detoxifying. So that is putting wild orange or lemon in your water, but they can also support your emotional detoxification. Every essential oil has an emotional component to it, okay? So this is a cell here on the left, the orange, and we are dropping a drop of wild orange. And what that promotes, so the emotional component to the wild orange is energizing, uplifting, toxic release, okay? And the top essential oil that we see up there at the top is called Balance. Balance is excellent to support our bodies, just to ground our emotions and to keep us balanced. And one way, if we were just to take our shoes off, go barefoot outside, and stand by a tree, we would also feel balanced. And how that works is the tree is grounded. It has, the root system underneath of the ground is, the same size or larger than what you see on the outside, the top of the tree. So trees are grounding. So when we use our essential oils that have a lot of tree oils in it, or resins or things from a tree in it, then they can help ground us, and they can be very calming to our bodies and calming emotionally. Every organ in our body has a cell receptor. Even if you can't smell, your body can. I have worked with people that have lost their sense of smell, and some of them have regained their sense of smell as well. However, your organs all have cell receptors, and your organs can smell even when you can't, through your nose. Here on the right, you're going to see a peppermint leaf, and you'll see a magnified peppermint oil sac, okay? So the peppermint oil sac is to the plant like the lifeblood of the plant, just like our blood is to our body. It's necessary for function. And so if this is the lifeblood of the plant, it protects the plant from predators. So essential oils protect the plant from predators and disease. And these same components can protect us as well. When we talk about emotional oils to use emotionally, Balance is excellent and wild orange. We could even mix these two together to support us, for grounding as well as energizing and uplifting. Did you know that one single drop of oil equals 40 million trillion molecules? These chemical compounds service every cell in the body of a matter of minutes. So they can be in our bloodstream in 30 seconds, and they can be through every cell in 30 minutes. Sometimes essential oils work before I can even get the lid back on. That is a quick response. Just last weekend, I had a client come to me with shoulder pain, and we pulled out some emotional oils, and I opened the bottle, he smelled it, and immediately he said his head tension went away. This is amazing. So he did come to me about shoulder pain, and we talked about that, and we felt like those were things coming from an emotional place. However, it's just amazing how quickly he just smelt the oil and his head tension went away. It's pretty cool. Our essential oils that I recommend are potent and pure. I want to go back for just a minute, talking about family history. And typically when we think of family history, we say this runs in my family or that runs in my family. However, usually it's whatever you have been taught, to how you've been taught to take care of yourself, because typically our parents teach us how to eat, and they teach us how to move our bodies, and they teach us all these habits that we have formed. And so I think when we are continuing that path, if we choose to put new habits into our life, then we don't always have to go down that same family history. Like genetics go so far, but so what do we say? We say genetics load the gun, but diet and lifestyle pull the trigger. And then also talking with the client about her particular family history, that her mom has Alzheimer's. She said every day her mom woke up and would just in her everyday life would say, I watched my friend go through Alzheimer's. I hope I don't get it. And anyway, over time, her mom kept saying that like a lot because she kept seeing her friend go through this disease. And she ended up growing her own Alzheimer's. And that was the belief of this client. She said, my mom kept focusing on that, and that became her reality. It's just another example of what I mentioned earlier. Okay, so back to our essential oils. Let's talk about choosing our essential oils carefully. The grade of oil you use will determine its chemistry, potency, and efficacy. So there are different grade of essential oils here. There is the synthetic, which are really toxic chemical fragrances. And you will find these in most on the market today. When you walk into stores, you're going to see, oh, there's 100% pure essential oils. That's what they say on the label. However, typically these are your synthetics. These are the ones you mostly see. These are the ones that you see, they're all the same price. Okay, because when you walk into the produce department, bananas cost different amount than the oranges, right? So the same with essential oils. They should not be all the same priced when they are the good kind, right? So then we have the food grade essential oils. And these are the ones that you find maybe in pastries, in cookies. These have no therapeutic qualities. These are going to be the ones used for cooking and extracts and flavorings. When I think of this, I think of, for instance, peppermint patty. Okay, if you Google, I want you to Google the ingredients in a peppermint patty. It says oil of peppermint. And people tell me sometimes, I don't want to use oils internally. Well, guess what? If you were eating processed foods, you are eating essential oils and taking them internally just with what you're eating, because that's just one example of a food industry that use essential oils, and they're not even the pure, awesome therapeutic grade. So just think about that. Okay, therapeutic grade are unregulated, and they have compromised quality and marginal health benefits. And these are going to be ones that will say you can put them on your skin, but you can't take them internally. Buyer beware, right? Because your skin is your biggest organ, and anything you put on your skin goes in. So also think about this when you're putting your favorite lotion from your favorite bath store, okay? Because anything on your skin is going into your body and into your bloodstream. Okay. When you open a bottle of doTERRA, you know that you are getting an essential oil with no synthetics, no fillers, or anything like that. Let's talk about CPTG. These are certified pure therapeutic grade. And these are extracted from plants harvested in their natural habitat all over the world. If peppermint is grown best in the United States, like in Washington State, that's where we harvest that from. And if it is grown best in Haiti, like in vetiver, then we're going to harvest it from Haiti, or frankincense from Somalia, or lemon from Italy, right? So we have stringent in-house testing and third-party testing, and then we have a seal that is verified pure, filler-free. It is extremely potent and pure. All right, let's talk about how to use these essential oils for our emotional health. There are 3 different ways. One of those is aromatically, topically, and internally. Smell is the fastest way to affect our mood, okay? Now, smell is our strongest sense that we have. Aromatic molecules have direct access to the limbic area or our emotional seat of the brain. I remember Vanderbilt doing a study. They just put in, essential oils in the diffusers, which were citrus bliss, lemon, lime, different citrus oils in their emergency room, and they wanted to see if it would reduce the stress, and they found that it did. So smell is the fastest way to affect our mood. So citrus are great to use to uplift, as we mentioned earlier, and peppermint is going to be great for that overwhelmed feeling. when we have that head or muscle tension, peppermint is a great go-to. We can also put this in our diffuser. I like to mix peppermint with orange, put it in your hands, and cup them and smell them, and then rub that on the back of your neck. That would be a topical way to use the essential oils topically too. Let me pause here for a second and say, have you ever smelt something and it took you back to a place and time? Like maybe you've smelt something that reminded you of your grandmother's perfume. Or maybe you walked into a store and you smelt an apple pie baking, and that took you back to helping your grandmother make apple pie. Or maybe you smell fresh cut grass and it takes you back to a camp, whether that's a good experience or a bad experience. Smells can take you back to a positive or a negative experience. It can also take you back to a trauma. So when we also can apply our essential oils topically, and they can affect those 3 different areas that we talked about earlier. Our mind, we can apply on the back of the neck, across the forehead, or on the bottoms of the feet. When I use essential oils topically, I want to use a carrier oil. A carrier oil is a pure oil that you're going to use just to help dilute, and it's going to help keep the essential oil on the skin longer. It won't evaporate as quickly, and you won't have to apply it as quickly. But a carrier oil is going to be things like coconut oil, almond oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, whatever kind of oil you have at home you can cook with that you could also use. So you're going to use on the back of the neck, across the forehead, on the bottoms of the feet to support the mind. You can use it over the heart area, inside of your wrist, or behind your ears. And you can also apply it over your stomach or the bottoms of the feet. So when I do my other classes, when I talk about digestive health, then we will talk about using a digestive support over the stomach, and then we would put maybe even an emotional component over top. So just if your stomach upset is due to something going on emotionally, then you're going to have that support there as well. So when I think of an essential oil that supports our emotions, when I'm grieving, like when you have a hard time catching your breath and you're just very, very sad, and you're grieving, breathe is great. So breathe is great for respiratory support, and is great when we're grieving. And here I'll just mention, since I've kind of mentioned it already, essential oils can target your emotions as well as your physical body, like I mentioned with the peppermint and the head tension, and the breathe with the respiratory support. And then On Guard is our protective blend. It is great for immune support physically, and it is excellent when you're feeling vulnerable or to support you in that. So this is one we can take internally. This On Guard has our CPTG label, and it has on the side it says supplemental facts, and since it says that on the side, that means you can take it internally. You could put it underneath your tongue in water or in a gel cap. On Guard in specific, I would not put it underneath my tongue. It is going to be spicy. And so I would put that inside of a little bit of water and drink it down. Or you could put it on topically on your feet. There are different ways you could use On Guard to support you. Now, how I use On Guard is before I talk to a client, or while I'm talking to somebody and they're like spilling out all their emotional stuff, which I'm always there to listen. I like to be with them and have empathy for them, but I don't want to take on their stuff. So in order to protect me in that way, you might see me pull out a hand sanitizer or some type of support that uses On Guard, because I want to support myself and not carry their emotions with me and affect my health. All right, when I think of peppermint, it helps support, when I think of peppermint, it peps me up and it allows me to bring in joy, and it also lifts sadness. And then of course, breathe, we talked about supports us when we have grief, And then our On Guard is supports us, our vulnerability. Okay. Each essential oil carries an emotional component. I mentioned that earlier. And, okay. And these are 6 emotional aromatherapies that we have. Console is mostly thought of for comfort. Forgive is for renewing. Peace is for reassuring. Passion is inspiring. Cheer is uplifting. And motivate is encouraging. Okay, what are you feeling now? So you can use this chart in a couple of different ways. One of those is you can look at the emotion that you see on the inside. Maybe you're feeling angry, then I would turn to Forgive, the renewing blend. But you can look at it that way, or you can look at all these essential oils and smell them and see which one that you're kind of attracted to. And then look in the center and think, how am I feeling based upon that? I might need cheer because I'm feeling gloomy, and cheer is uplifting. Okay? So we can use our emotional essential oils here in a diffuser. We can put them on as perfume. We can put them over our heart, any of those ways I mentioned previously. I like this quote over here. It says, you fill a bucket drop by drop. You clear your mind thought by thought. You heal yourself moment by moment. And this is Lisa Wimberger. What I like about this is, this is a day-to-day thing. Our emotional support is something that we need to do every day. The thoughts that we're thinking, we need to focus on those every day. What are you growing? So this is not something that we do one time. Okay, our emotions are good, but this is an ongoing thing, moment by moment, drop by drop, thought by thought. I am not sure why my computer keeps doing this, but okay. Okay, let's see. Next, if you are not a member of doTERRA and this class has been informative to you, this is one awesome way to get started. These are 6 emotional blends, and it comes with a diffuser. This is a Lumo diffuser. It has 5-hour or 10-hour, even a 2-hour setting on it. It comes with, you can have light, you can turn on and off, you can have it exchanging lights, but this is an awesome diffuser. So this kit is $195. You save $69 when you purchase this kit. Doesn't matter if you've been in doTERRA, this is your first first time looking into it, or if you've already been in doTERRA, these 6 essential oils everybody needs in their home to support their emotional health. Okay, some people ask me, okay, after I get started with doTERRA, maybe I purchased a kit, what do I do next? What is my next step? So you know what, I think that this skipped over. Yes, it did. It skipped over a couple of my, let me go back and see what happened here, because a couple of my really, really great things, here it is. I don't know why it skipped that. That's so odd. Okay, back to this, foundational support. As a health coach, I always talk to clients about a foundational support. And those are going to consist of a great multivitamin, cellular support, and a great omega, because our omegas are usually off. We need to balance our body with omega-3s, and all of our omegas need to be balanced. So just a great daily support. You need to have a great multivitamin, cellular support, as well as omegas. These components are all going to, the daily support is minerals, micronutrients, healthy fats, and you're going to get all of these with these 3 at the top. This is called the Lifelong Vitality Pack. When people come to me with a host of physical things going on, I say, you know what, I'm not going to give you 30 essential oils. I'm going to start you off here. This is just our foundational support. We want to bring in nutrition on a cellular level, and this is the way to do that. So everybody needs to be on these 3 awesome supplements. All right, and the second thing is I'm passionate about gut health, probiotics, and about cleansing our different body systems. Because remember, when we are constipated, it affects our mood, right? I don't know about you, but when I was struggling with my health and I was constantly dealing with my digestive tract, constipation, I was not in a good mood. Just you're not. When you are stuck, when you feel like you're stuck emotionally and your gut is stuck and it's not moving, I am not in a good mood. So remember, probiotics and cleansing are vital to support health, our mood, and our clear thinking. Here at the bottom, you're going to see some ways that we can cleanse our bodies, okay, and ways that we can support our gut health. Over 70% of our immune system is in our gut. Keeping that healthy is vitally important for health. Our digestive function is scientifically linked to mood. So our probiotics are going to be our PB Assist Plus. Now these are awesome because I've been on a lot of probiotics in my life, and I love the technology used in ours because it is double capsulated. That means it has a prebiotic, which actually is food for the probiotic, but it is time released. So the second capsule is opened where it's needed. Actually, probiotics are needed in the intestines. And so your prebiotic is going to be the thing that's open. Remember, that's food for the probiotic, and then it's going to release in the intestines where it needs to be. And that's where we want to improve our microbiome, improve our bacteria that's in the gut. So PB Assist is foundational for health. And then we can talk about Terrazyme. Terrazyme is our digestive enzymes. When we eat food, we need something to help break down our nutrients that we're eating. Remember, we want to eat real foods. Those are foods with 1 ingredient or 5 ingredients or less. If you are doing something that's in a box or something like that, remember 5 ingredients or less, or just a whole food is just one food. Like when you eat, banana, it's just a banana. If you eat just lettuce, it's just lettuce. So when we eat a lot of raw foods, then we are getting a lot of enzymes, and enzymes are what is needed to break down our food. The Terrazyme, when we eat that steak, a potato, things like that, it takes a lot more enzymes to break that food down. And as we get older, we start to lose those. So Terrazyme is going to be awesome to break those down for you. Okay? So when we have unhealthy bacteria in our gut, we need GX Assist. GX Assist is that assist our bodies in getting rid of the unhealthy bacteria. So we're going to use GX Assist only for 10 days of a month. So we use 10 days GX Assist to rid the body of unhealthy bacteria. Then we're going to follow that up the next 20 days with probiotics PB Assist. Okay, and then lemon is something that we use daily. 1 drop in your water, 8 ounces. You can do that all day long if you want to, but lemon or your citrus oils are going to be excellent for detoxifying the body. To support our endocrine system, and that's our liver, all that different systems that make up the endocrine system, then we want to use Zendercrine. Zendercrine is the one that I put over the liver. You can put it on topically. You can take Zendercrine in water if you want to. Zendercrine also comes in a soft gel, the oil, and it also comes in a complex. So let me talk about this for a second. Zendercrine essential oil, Zendercrine supplement, that's a soft gel, is the same product. Okay, don't do both, just do one or the other. But the Zendercrine complex is the herbs needed to support the the endocrine part of the, not the Zendercrine part of the body, the endocrine system, okay? So you want the complex, and you want either the soft gels or the oil. So when I use the oil, I put that on topically over the liver several times a day, and I take the Zendercrine complex. When I use the lemon, I just do the lemon in my water daily. Okay? Does that make sense? If you have questions, please email me or send me a message to my website about those. Okay, I went over that. Okay, now we're to self-care. Now, self-care is a buzzword. We hear this in any health podcast. We read this in any book. but it is vitally important. Okay, when I'm doing health coaching, we talk about how we take care of ourselves. And we want to nourish, we want to have all those pathways connected, like we talked about earlier. Remember, everything starts with a thought. And nourishing our bodies. Mamas, I'm giving you permission here to take care of yourself. Take care of you, mom, before you take care of your family. So how we do that? We want to increase our water intake. We want to increase exercise and movement. We want to support ourselves through rest and relaxation. Maybe you go to the sauna, maybe you do aroma touch technique. We can talk about these in another presentation, but meditate on good things. We can improve our diet, eat those good foods that are essential nutrients, whole foods. We want to focus on whole foods, and but it's almost like a puzzle. We can't just eat healthy food. We can't just get enough sleep. We need to do all these things, and that's where health coaching takes effect. That's where I support people. If we read any type of book, it says one way to use self-care is to use essential oils in a bath with Epsom salt. And I just found that so interesting. It's just commonplace now. These are some ways to support our self-care. If you like to read a book, take time out every day to enjoy a book. Okay, now we talked about this earlier. This is an awesome kit to get you started. You're saving $69. Okay, now that we went back and got the foundational support, I can move on. So we have a program called the Loyalty Rewards Program, and that is basically a program designed to reward you for your purchases. Okay, and how I recommend people start out is the foundational health every single month, and then you can add on the 6 essential oils that we saw in a 5 milliliter bottle are also available in a roller bottle, and these are excellent to carry with you. I carry them in my purse, in my backpack, whatever I'm carrying for that day. We carry around a couple of these emotional aromatherapy roller bottles. These are already diluted for you, so it's just a quick roll on. You can roll them off your heart, behind your ears, your wrist points. I wear these as perfume. Okay, month 2. We can grab that same Lifelong Vitality Pack. It's foundational every month, and then you can add on some of the ways to assist the digestive tract. We're talking probiotics, the Terrazyme that help, that are digestive enzymes that help, break up your food, like I mentioned earlier. And then we can bring in a couple of those Citrus Bliss, which I mentioned earlier, with the Vanderbilt diffusing. They did find out it does support the stress of individuals, doctors and nurses and staff. Elevation is another one that's great for emotional support. Remember, support your gut health. It supports your mood. You are not happy when your digestive tract is messed up. And then also here you can, then 3rd month in, you can reach for this endocrine products. Just going to be excellent to support your endocrine system, including your liver, lungs, colon, all that. So Serenity and Balance are also excellent. Serenity's our sleep restful blend, so it's excellent to use while you're sleeping. I diffuse this every night. And Balance is that tree oils that help balance and ground you emotionally. So you can put these in any order in your LRP template. The person that invited you here can tell you more about that. Okay, now we can't leave out the children. Children also need a great multivitamin, and they also need an omega. Now, omegas support also inflammation, great for the brain. Our children need this foundation. My kids take these all the time. So these are our doTERRA ATT Chewable and IQ Mega. They're $39.50. There's probiotics for children, and these are pretty excellent, if I must say so myself. But these are little sachets. These taste very, very good. The kids enjoy them. I haven't met a kid once that doesn't like these. So these are great to, they can just take them on their own. You could put them in something if you would like, but this is a great way to get your probiotics in for your kids. They come in 30 sachets, 1 per day for 30 days, $24.50. And then we have our lavender And balance. These are excellent. When my kid is having a fit, I walk in with balance, put it on the bottoms of her feet, talk to her, and everything changes. So I love these two. These two together are $41. All right, in the month of May, we have a promotion. May is the 200 PV order month, and that means any order. If you are existing doTERRA member or if you are new, then you get these 4 products that retail $76.67 for free when you place an order that's about $200. It's 200 PV. Every product has a product value. So you're going to get our toothpaste, you're going to get the hand sanitizer, which is great to put in your backpack, put in your purse, excellent for the grocery cart, and etc. You're going to get the On Guard Protective Blend, which we mentioned earlier, and you're going to get Wild Orange all free when you spend that close to $200. Okay, here are just a couple of quotes that I liked by Dr. Caroline Leaf. I've mentioned her several times. I'm a huge fan. She wrote a book called Who Switched On My Brain? I think that's the name of it. Who Switched On My Brain? And then she has this 21-day detox. She has several different tools out there. She has a lot of information on YouTube, but it's all about renewing your mind. So one of her quotes is, frame your world with your words. Like, that's powerful. And then if you realized how powerful your thoughts are, you would never think a negative thought. Wow. So I just wanted to say thank you again for your time. Thank you for listening. Again, my name is Angela Sutherland. You can reach me at healthylivingchick.com. Contact me, or you can reach me at my email, angela@healthylivingchick.com. And this is my friend Christy that sometimes does these classes with me, and this is her contact information. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.